Hi, this is Abena and welcome back to my channel. It has been ages. As they say, life has been lifing, but actually I've been doing a lot and I'll update you in my videos as I go along. But mostly God has been working on me, and you will see that featuring in the kinds of content I put out from now on. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that originally I was Bookworm in GH, and as my faith in Christ grew, I switched it to Bookworm in Christ, and that will reflect the kinds of content I will be putting out here on my YouTube and on my TikTok, Instagram, and now I have a Substack as well. I'll put the usernames and all the links in the description box below. So make sure you follow me if you are on any of those social media channels. Now, if you follow me on TikTok, I started a series where I recommend Christian romances that portray similar themes to popular secular romances. In the first one, of course, I had to pick one of the most popular books, which in my view is not entirely a romance, but that's a discussion for another day. And so the book I chose was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. If you've seen this on social media, you know that there's been a lot of hype and there's even been a movie. Now, the main themes this book touches on are the issue of domestic abuse in a romantic relationship and how the female main character comes out of it. Now, the reason why I want to recommend Christian romances that touch on this issue is to highlight the role of God and the role of Christ in helping people come out of such dangerous situations. And so you'll find that the books I'll recommend for this particular video, the stories show how the female main character, who was in an abusive relationship, is able to heal and move on after such an experience through her faith in Christ. And I think it's important as believers to expose ourselves to such stories so that it can also give people in those real life situations hope. On my TikTok video, I actually forgot to add, I think, 1 or 2. And so I'll highlight those in this video. Okay, so the first book I would like to highlight is To Live Again by Unoma Nwankwo, who is a Nigerian American author. And so you find that a lot of her books set between the US and Nigeria. Now, To Live Again follows Itohan Adolo, and she's a Nigerian princess whose first love betrays her, and so there's an abusive situation there. And so she's devastated and flees to the US to start over. In Florida, she meets Osaro, a devoted Christian man whose gentle faith helps her break the invisible chains of past hurts. And this faith-filled romance explores forgiveness and restoration, demonstrating how no matter how deep the scars, the chains can be broken with the power of faith, self-acceptance, and forgiveness. Now, I haven't read this yet, but I've read other books of Unoma Nwankwo, and so I know this is going to be really good. So it's on my very long TBR, but I recommend this if you are looking for books that touch on these themes. The next book, which I forgot to put up on my TikTok, is Love is Patient by Faith Arsenault. She's an African-American author of Christian romance. And in this story, it follows Morgan, who has endured a dramatically abusive relationship. The man she trusted with her heart wrecked her, belittling her dreams and mocking her success. When she finally finds the courage to leave, she meets Cody, a gentle Christian man who will wait patiently as she heals. Hence the title Love is Patient, which comes from, the verse in Corinthians which describes the attributes of love. This clean contemporary Christian romance explicitly addresses Morgan's pain from domestic violence and shows how God's love and timing can bring healing and redemption. The next one is also by a Nigerian, but in this case, she's a Nigerian British author of historical fiction and also Christian fiction. And the title is Lovers, Leavers, and Keepers by Ola Awonubi. And it follows Lola Sawyer, who is a Nigerian British heroine who thought she was marrying happily, but her husband turns out to be cruel and controlling. After several bouts of physical and emotional abuse from her husband, Lola finally flees to England. There, she unexpectedly reunites with Laddie, her long ago God-fearing ex-boyfriend. And so we see a second chance romance trope here. The novel is very explicit about domestic violence and healing, so please note the trigger warnings. Emotional abuse, while highlighting that Lola and Laddie's Christian faith plays a significant role in their lives as they forgive, heal, and find love again. Now, this next one, which was also not featured on my TikTok, is Chasing Faith by Stephanie Perry Moore, and she's also an African-American author of Christian fiction. And I think, yes, this one is a Christian teen romance with past trauma. It follows Christian, so I think that's the name of the female main character, a young woman who survived a broken home and deep betrayal. She struggles to trust until an understanding young man shows her God's love. Stephanie Perry Moore weaves in issues like feeling abandoned by God and learning to forgive. While not about spousal abuse, the heroine is recovering from a hurtful past, and the novel's emphasis on healing through faith makes it resonate similarly with readers who've experienced emotional abuse. And so I think this would also appeal to younger audiences because it's also quite short. There are two more novels which highlights this issue of healing from emotional and or physical abuse. And the first one is, I believe, the third in a series, but I skipped the first two and jumped to this one because the synopsis was really intriguing to me, and that is Honest Refuge by Haley Bridgman. And it portrays Melissa, who survived horrific family abuse. So in this case, it's not, directly within a romantic relationship, but it also highlights how abuse in a family can cause trauma for the children, which they can carry on if it's not properly addressed. And she now runs a domestic violence shelter. When wounded veteran Phil enters her life, their shared faith and service lead both toward healing and a redemptive love story. Now, the last book I'll recommend under this category is T.I. Lowe's Lulu's Cafe, which introduces Leah, who is battered and broken from a violent past, who finds refuge in a small town cafe and is surrounded by Christ-centered community and a caring new friend. She learns to trust again and discovers God's restoration and love. These are all amazing books, and so if you are looking for a Christian fiction, Christian romance book which touches on the issue of emotional and physical abuse and healing from it, these are the books I highly recommend. If you've read any of them, let me know what you thought of them in the comments. Now, if you are in Ghana, my bookstore, Akinkan Bookstore, can order these for you. We have some of them in stock, and we can also order for you. So kindly let me know if you'd be interested. And we also have a Christian romance book club if you'd like to join and read along with us, because we'll be reading some of these books. If you liked this, let me know in the comments if there are any themes you'd like to see featured with regards to Christian romance recommendations. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video. Bye.